Hi there, folks. It is Wednesday, July the 15th, 2026. I just completed finishing up my last level 11 plus horse, so we're starting on a new set. But before I clear out the ones that are maxed out here in the barn already, I want to do kind of a video where I go over how I arrange my training horses, what my methodology is, and all that other fun stuff. I have a lot of horses to train, okay? A whole lot. So I have developed a system, and that is partially why I have the Dusk Bar training circuit, because it does help me get through the training and it lets me do the stuff that I enjoy the most. And honestly, I enjoy training horses most out of any other thing in this game. But anyway, so let's just go ahead and go through this. So I've got these horses here from Fairy Dove to Aaron Drake that are non-permies. These are horses that I just trained up, so they're going to go back into the pasture. So we're going to go ahead and move those guys over. I already got them marked off on my spreadsheet because yes, there is a spreadsheet. Of course there is. And these horses have been moved into the barn just for a few days, long enough that I could do daily care to get them leveled up. I have 6 more horses that I need to bring into the barn here. So I have on my second monitor my spreadsheet up so I know which horses I want to bring in, which horses are already in the barn, and I'll be clicking back and forth between these. So you might see the game pause and hear the music pause. That's just because I'm on my second monitor. Sorry, suddenly yawning. All right. Well, the first horse I want to find is Baron Griffin. It's one of the Welsh ponies that I just got today. And Baron Griffin, there you are now in the barn. So I'm going to change this horse's status in my spreadsheet to active. And then the next horse that it would be is the same breed. So I'm going to put this one on as just mark it as later. So I will train this horse later. And then the next horse will be the Marwari Dauntless Dusk. Let's get into that part. Went past Dauntless Dusk, the Marwari. That one to active. This horse gets to be later because there's already one in the group. And the next horse is going to have an F name. So what I'm doing is if there is already a horse that is of the breed that I am actively training, so you can see I've got a Mustang, I've got a Jorvik Frisian, a Chincoteague pony, a Jorvik mountain horse, a Jorvik Andalusian, an Andalusian, an American quarter horse, a Sylvan Unicorn, the Sylvan Unicorn, which counts as a Paso Fino, then our Welsh pony, and a Marwari. So the next horse is going to be this breed that I swear I can never pronounce. The horse's name is Far Oak. I'm going to find that one. It's that breed that I can never pronounce, and I actually should have a button here to push it, and my friend would say the name, but I haven't set that file up yet, so that's my bad. Anyway. So the next... Oh shit, stop yawning. The next horse is going to be Fawn Light, the Jorvik Wild. There you are, Fawn Light. And then a Fawn Warrior, the Connemara. And finally, Fire Bottle, the Criollo. Where are you? There you are. So all of these horses now get changed to active. My spreadsheet is updated with those, so they are good to go. I'm going to put my stuff back over where I can see it. Because I like to be able to see all of my stuff. Okay, anyway. So now I have my horses here in the barn. This is going to be my next set of training horses. So we're going to go up here to Baron Griffin. I have plenty of food. I will need to get some water though. But I'm going to dismount. And it's going to be a couple days before I get to these horses. So in the meantime, I'm going to do stable care on them, even though I am paying for stable care. That's mostly for the horses that are in the pasture. These guys doing stable. No, not mounting. Thank you. Stable care on them. Get them up to level 2, and then from there, obviously. And while I am here, we're going to take the shoes off so that I remember. Level them up. Look in the stable just so it updates their level. These two did come from Bazaar today. I need to get some water, I just forgot. Alright. I said it, and then I forgot. There we go. I love the bow. I have shoes to put on them. I just have to get the shoes out of my inventory. Face is itchy. That was a weird noise. Okay. Anyway. Hey, don't kick me. Yawning self. The Paso has that little, like, hoof wave animation as well, but it deforms the leg. It looks real weird. Alright, so we got those. And then for the Criollo. You know, I didn't like this breed at first, but then I rode one. I bought the one that was up at the medieval camp. The bay, what was that dark bay? Shit, what is that? dark bay Overo. I could not remember what the pattern was. But yeah, I bought that one just randomly just to see what I thought of it, and I loved it. Now I have all of them, so you can see that this is definitely a horse that I quite enjoy. Get your shoes. Okay. Let's just get rid of all of these. I was keeping these, but it takes up too much room and I've got too much other stuff. I also wish I could just right-click destroy stuff. Make my life easier. Alright. So now I'm going to remember where I put my horseshoes. 6 of them. So do those because the other horses already have shoes on. And the reason why I'm doing shoes now is because I will forget. Inevitably, I will be like, I'm going to put everything else, and then I forget to put shoes on the horse. But they are all done. The other horses have had all their stable care done, so we are just now here with Chipcake, who is going to pick up on the training circuit where I left off. We'll be heading up to the medieval camp after we run into the door. Whoops. My water because I forgot. That crackle of the bottle is so flippin' loud. There we go. Water. I also have the championship quest to turn in, so I will do that after I pick up this recyclable. Turned the one in, and now I'm going to turn in the other one. So normally I don't do these sort of like stream of consciousness training videos with horses that are under level 11. And it's really just so I have a similar starting point to talk about the models, when they're within the same like training level. You know what I mean is they're almost to that they're almost that last companionship level, so they're almost as fast as they're going to be, and you know, some of the weird little things you don't notice when the horse is higher level, like that weird like gloaty slidey turn that some of the horses do. But I haven't ridden a Mustang in so long. I had record one of them, you know. At least not on Ashley, I haven't. I did on Sonic's currently on Mustang. She's on that City Bay one. That's one of my favorite horses. But I was just on it's one of the older Gen 3s. It was the Fjord horse. So I thought I would just compare and contrast some of the things between that horse's design language and this one. Man, when was the last time I was on a Mustang? I almost want to say the last time that I was on a Mustang was when I was leveling up the two from Galloper's Keep, so it's been a while. I used to do my level up my horses, try to train them in order of purchase. So if I bought several of the same horse on the same day, I would do, you know, a half dozen of the same horse, just different colors, and it got boring. But I've enjoyed this way of doing it more. So I always have variety, and in fact, I went ahead and incorporated that self-imposed rule saying that I can only be one of a model per group, which means if there's a magic horse that is the same model as one of the other ones, it doesn't get to go in there. Or the other one doesn't. Like if there had been a Pasofino, it wouldn't have gone in this group because I have the Sylvan Unicorn in there. Or if my Perla had been up, she wouldn't have gone in this group because there's already a Criollo. I need to be on flat ground to really look at these jumps, but I really like the Mustang's jump. Puts its head down, it really kind of gets into it, but it's still a sort of no nonsense type jump, you know. It's not overly fancy. It gets the job done. The horse tucks up. You can see how the legs roll under. It's athletic, but it's not overdone. I guess is a good way to phrase it. So normally when I'm training horses, if I'm doing the quote-unquote official Dusk Bar training circuit run, I don't use the trailers. I save my chillings up, but we're going to use the trailers because I think I get to them. Whoops. I jumped too soon. The Mustang doesn't have the same sort of like feeling of falling from the sky that some of the other horses do. ASB and the self-rust I do a little bit. Even the Jorvik Wild have this sort of feeling where it just feels like they fall out of the sky. And in fact, the Jorvik Wild feels like it falls backwards, if that makes any sense. It comes back towards... it feels like it comes back towards the camera when it jumps. I don't know if that was done at the time to try and like fix the fact that their jump was different and they were getting an advantage in competitions, but I wasn't playing at the time that they were released. That was more than 5 years ago, so. This was going to be a video where I gave some of my thoughts and some of my wish list stuff, but I kind of feel like maybe I should do wish list stuff. I'll do my wish list stuff in a video when I have it, like, at least in bullet points so I don't get distracted. I've got a lot of stuff on the wish list. Although one thing I will say for my wish list is, I have thoughts for a way that they could do a officially sanctioned training. System. Because some of the some other games I've played, and I'll just use Flight Rising as an example, because I've been on Flight Rising for over a decade now. And with Flight Rising, you can send dragons to other players to train up, but you have to trust them to give the dragon back. And sometimes they don't, and sometimes they might do things like change your dragon's name, or sell your dragon, or not feed your dragon. And you can't do shit because, or exalt your dragon. And you can't do anything if they do, because as far as Flight Rising is concerned, once the dragon leaves your lair, it is no longer your concern. And in fact, there have been players who have had disciplinary taken against them because they've been so aggressive. If somebody like bought an unnamed fodder baby, you know, and didn't name it and exalted it, so now that unnamed baby is forever in the like, you know, offspring list of one of their favorite dragons or whatever. Name your baby, whatever. Like, so there's a randomized button for everything. But you know, I've got thoughts of taking the good from there and some of the other stuff that I've seen and ways that could be done so it's safe for both sides. And even if it's not like player to player, if it's like an NPC hires your character, you know. And then I saw something that's coming up for Camp Western, and y'all will know what it is before I do. It's in the files right now. Spoilers have shown it, but we don't know what it is. But it looks like a way to ride old horses. So we'll have to just see what that is. And it'd be neat if it was kind of something that I was, like what I was thinking about. for me to talk about my whole, like, thing. A whole video on its own. It could probably easily be a half-hour video of me just yapping. Which, I mean, you get anyway, but it would be more... it would be less disjointed. Oh, am I so thirsty? You know, I kind of wish they had these boots, but without the rear bell boots, without the rear bells on. I would like just the fronts, or even just the boots themselves and not the bells. I don't mind bell boots. Sometimes, though, that's not the vibe I'm going for. We will come back for him. One time when I'm here in Marching Guest and I'm not in the middle of a quest, not doing a prank session, I need to remember to go into photo mode. I want to take a closer look at those like bright red particles that pop up in the fog. Because if I'm not mistaken, those look like the pink Pandoric magic we've seen before. Specifically whenever Idris does magic. Is when I've seen it, but I've seen it other times too. But I can tell you for certain when Idris does magic. My transcription software is having an issue, so as soon as this is done, I'm going to pop my head over and reset that. Or did it fix itself? Okay, I guess it fixed itself. Well, we shall see if it did or not. Still making some tweaks, so, you know, sometimes. Yep, those are the same particle. Pick up our little guy and get get him back before we run out of glimmer. Thought they were the same particles because it looked like they were the same particles. I need to take a look under the tree too. You know, one thing I'm noticing, just right off the bat, is these bags that are on the horse's butt are very stable. Like, the cantle doesn't move a lot, so the bags don't move, because from what I can tell, they are attached to the cantle. And so if the horse's pelvis moves a lot, the bags move. But I don't see what those... Yeah, these sparkles are just that. They're just round, circular sparkles. But on some of the breeds, the pelvis moves a whole lot. Like an unnecessary amount. Quite frankly. And it doesn't do that on here. Like, it bounces a little, but it doesn't really leave the horse's back. I've seen some where it just doesn't even sit on the horse's back to begin with. But as the horse moves, it's way the heck off the back. This is relatively stable. I have a theory about the blight. I don't know if it's just... if Star Stable is just reusing particle effects or what. It just seems too convenient. Since we are... since our lance is Pandoric. Alright, you get to go through there. I need to pick up stuff, and of course the bags disappear, so I can't make more commentary about them. They're definitely like calling back in the Mustang's jump to the Gen 2 Mustang, because it has a very rounded jump. I This definitely feels like an improvement on what was already there, and the Gen 2 Mustang was already good. I liked it. I'm sad I didn't get more than I should have. But I just didn't think about it. I like when they do the lip thing. My favorite part about the Hanoverian, so of course I like when the Mustang does it. Although with the Mustang and the Dartmoor, you'd almost expect them to do it. Meanwhile, here's the Hanoverian, our super serious show horse, acting all kinds of a goober, you know. Oops. I hit that too soon. That was my fault. Our buddy back. Alright, and go get the other ones. I should turn this stuff in while I'm thinking about it so I don't have the same issue I had last night where I was like, man, I'm done. Alright, I'm ready to go to sleep. And then I looked and I was like, wait, why do I have quests to turn in? Oh. Like, oh, that's why. Alright, come with me, my little friend. I really like this shirt. I don't think it's going to replace my usual shirt, but I like it. Alright, so let's head up to... what's next? This area for our mushrooms. Oh, that, get that lantern sapling that's over here. Can't wait till we find out what this door is to. Wouldn't just be there. Stuff in games has reasons. Sometimes those reasons are fuck all, but sometimes there are actual reasons. That door There's a reason. Let's get our buddy and take him back to the castle. Not your tail, not your shell, not your shell, not your paw. Nope, it must be your face. Horse is almost level 7. And now it is. Means I can do a buck. All right. Listen, I could say it looks awful sus that my hair looks like Pandoric fire, but my hair looks like Pandoric fire, and that shit's kind of sus. Just a little bit. But it's upside down. That's the only thing. I like this hair with this hat. Because it is such a person who dyes their hair problem. You have a bright hat, and then like, the hat gets wet, and then it bleeds onto your hair. And your hair is, the cuticles are all open and porous, and it's very porous because, you've been bleaching your hair. So now your hat stained your head. Which isn't, I don't think, what's supposed to be happening here, but it works out that way, and it looks that way, and it's funny. So, that's what I'm headcanoning. Alright, we are all done here. Now let's head to... Hilltop Village. That's where I want to go. And then we will do Athena's trading race. Actually, I just remembered when I realized I had the quest left over. I was just coming this way, and I was like, man, why do I have quest markers still? And I looked, and I was like, oh, that's why. But I was very tired. Very ready for bed. regardless. I'm ready for bed again, and I've not been up that long. I'm just gonna blame the wildfires. That's a good one, yeah. Because the smoke's been making it very hard for me to sleep. Plus, it's very yellow outside. Air pollution is probably why my face is so itchy. Wow, can you hit literally every jump? That's... Jeez. Oh my god, I'm just jumping too soon, so... figure out I should do a comparison between the old Mustang and the new one. Like their jumps, their runs, and all that stuff, because I think that'd be fun to show. Since I have them, I can show them. Yes, trading race is done. So let's head back to Valedale and then up to the lake. And we'll get our lake stuff in. There are 2 lake races. Chickens kill me. They're so funny. I love them. Alright. Lake Leaper. guys are doing the twitchy thing when you're really sleepy. That's what they're doing. All right. Shouldn't be sleepy.
Governor?
All right. Oh, that was a long jump. Long jump for a slow horse. Like, yeah, I'm past my first speed upgrade, but we're not past the second one just yet, so... Pretty sure I just had the thing where I was partially up in the air and I hit the jump button for jump because it was registering my horses already jumped. So, yeah. Anyway, off to the pole bending apocalypse. There we go. That's the one it is. This one should not fit into the usual training circuit list, but I make exceptions for it because if I'm going to come back through and do what I've been calling the cleanup circuit, I might as well do it now. Because otherwise I have to run up to the lake or I have to run over to the dirt road. Oops. still get through. Normally, I will go until the horse is level 11, but staying tired as I am, I might just go until we get done with all of these. Well, I'll see how I feel when I'm done. Another snack. Wonder why level 11 is my cutoff point. Well, it's because that's the halfway point for the horse experience gain. So if you look at a horse is 33,000 experience, fully leveled. And at level 11, it's like 1650. 16.5, I should say. So that's the halfway point. That's why I stopped there. Originally, I didn't know specifically the numbers. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, this feels right. Shit, this is funny. You miss one, you're gonna miss all of them because it's like a line you have to follow. Just throws it off. Fine. Alright, done. This is another one that I've decided to add in just because it's on the way. And it means I don't have to go back. I've attempted to do it with the pot breaking with Athena, but I'm kind of tempted not even do that one at all because it's only 50 horse experience. If I need it, I can go back to it, but I cannot stand the sound of those breaking pots. They're so loud. Yeah, with the Western Festival coming back and we get our mud races back, I enjoyed those so much last year. Those were some of my favorites. It took me a little bit to like get used to them, but after that it was just, I liked it. Ridge Shore. there's my chores done. That's a rock. They change her sign. I don't remember her sign looking like that before. Wouldn't surprise me, but even if they didn't change the sign. And I'm just not remembering. That's also a possibility. Alright. Let's try and go catch this chicken. This will get us to level 8. I was in the air that time, so it didn't register me as jumping. Not one, but two. That's the last race on the trading circuit. Now we have 4 critters to find. Then I will assess how I feel. Yeah, of course I have to herd the sheep. Sorry about that. My partner woke up and came through, so I had to mute the mic for a second. Oh, I thought that was a critter, but no, it's just some chamomile. Oh boy, okay. Oh, another sheep. Dang it, of course. just a little bit. There we go. Make sure to keep the sheeps cut off. Yeah, sheeps. There we go. It's words. I'm tired. My brain's decided it's time to go back to bed, and it's like, I haven't been up that long. I don't know why it wants to go back to bed. Well, I mean, I know because I've been sleeping for shit, but still. It's rude. Alright. 1, 2 critters. The hell was that noise? Of course, one of them's a chicken. And one more. Wherever that heck you are. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm glad I've got plenty of chance to grab, like, the rubia that grows all around through here, but dang. Sometimes these little shits are almost impossible to find. Here it is. It's another chicken. Of course it is. Why I didn't see it when I was running through here on the chicken race. Mark both of those off. Turn our quests in. Pick up the can. There you go. Okay. so let's do these Western games while we're over here, while they're here in front of us. It's 800 horse experience to do both of them, both sets, so might as well. Should get this horse to level 9, which will get its next stat upgrade. You know, these don't take that long. I should just add them into the training circuit because I'm already over here doing the other stuff. And it takes like, what, 3 minutes or something? Part that takes the longest is this one and the last one of the opponents. That's my tumbler and my tea mug deciding to, you know, make connections with each other. wrong Tumblr transcription software. It's the Tumblr with an E. Now I just have to wait. Well, that got a lot of this, a good chunk of the horse a good chunk of the way to level 9, but I'm tired. I want a snack, I think. See if that'll wake my ass up. And if not, I'm going to go back to bed. But in the meantime, I hope you folks have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it happens to be when you are watching this. It is going to be next. Well, you'll see this in a few weeks. So next week you'll see, well, whatever the heck I have up here. I don't know. This was supposed to be a "This is how I do things" video, and I got distracted, as you can see, as I do. In the meantime, be sure to like, share, subscribe. That's stuff that we do here on YouTube, and I'm supposed to remind you all to do. So until then, till next week, I hope you all have a good one. Take care, and I will see you then. In fact, I can do this. There we go. Take care, guys. Bye. All right, I didn't mean to wait for this person here, but whatever. It's fine. Take care. Bye-bye.